Welcome to episode 55 of Think Big with Michael Zellner. All positive, no politics. My guest today is Angel Kirk. Angel is the owner of Angel Kirk Consulting. She is a public speaker, a top performing sales executive, a business and leadership consultant, and a very successful entrepreneur. She has also owned and operated many different successful businesses in her career. Welcome to the show, Angel.
Thank you for having me, Michael. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Tell us something interesting about yourself that most people don't know.
Well, I think probably one of the things that's very interesting about myself is I'm really into drag racing and I can rebuild a motor.
Really? Where did you
Pretty
learn
much,
that?
yeah. So years and years, when I was married for 25 years, we were into drag racing and my daughter still actually races cars. So I don't race anymore, but did when I was younger. So
That was really cool.
Yeah, love it.
So you grew up in Anchorage, Alaska. Besides the cold and snowy weather, what do you remember most about your life there?
So I grew up in Fairbanks,
Okay.
Alaska, moved to Anchorage as an adult. Absolutely, yes, the cold is definitely one of the things, but I think one of the things about Alaska that most people don't know is there is so much history in Alaska. It is huge. It is the largest state, obviously. And they say that only like 1% of the land is lived on. So it's really like you're just like a speck in the dust when you're there. There's just, I always used to joke, and I probably shouldn't say this on camera, but if you ever want to kill somebody and hide a dead body, move to Alaska. Because literally it's just crazy there. But it is a place with some really amazing people, that whole small town feel.
So a big day for you and your family was March 8th of 2010. You guys left Anchorage and headed to Phoenix, Arizona. What led you to your decision to move there?
Honestly, I was over the cold, and that's pretty much the simple answer. That and living in Alaska, while some people enjoy the isolation, it's very isolated because you're so far away. You really don't feel like you're in the real world. Additionally, all of our family had moved away and that had lived there for years and years and years and sold businesses. And so I was kind of the only one left there and wanted to be closer to family. So, but definitely I needed to unthaw.
That makes a lot of sense. You said, quote, sometimes you never know that you have touched someone else. It may be as simple as a hello or smile, unquote. In today's world, that's more important than ever, isn't it?
I think it's one of the most important things in this world. I know you follow me on LinkedIn and you got that from there. I think that kindness is one of the most important things. I think that you never, ever know, like you just said, who you're touching, who you're helping, and what kind of day somebody is having. And if you can live a kind and judgment-free life, it will benefit you beyond measure. Definitely.
As I mentioned before, you've been involved in, many different businesses throughout your life, from owning a salon and a spa to having a multi-million-dollar Allstate Insurance agency. You've managed over 100 brokers and a real estate agency and been an extremely successful real estate yourself. It seems like you've always gone after it with everything inside of you. You said, quote, I love starting businesses and watching them grow. I'm a risk taker and an entrepreneur by nature, unquote. Where does that drive, energy, and passion come from?
I think that I can't really tell you where it comes from because I've always just had it. So, I'd like to say it came from my parents, who are amazing, hardworking people. And I'm the oldest of four girls. And so my dad was always like, you guys can put your mind to, do whatever you put your mind to type situation. But I was just one of those kids that just had this crazy, amazing zest for life. And, my mom will tell you, my mom always thought I was going to be an actress because she said that I was just always, have this zest for life and was just so great at always, you know, doing things with people and going along with life and things like that. But I think some people have it and some people don't. It's not that it can't be a learned trait, but being a risk taker is just kind of something I've always been.
That's wonderful. You said once, quote, "You can't knock me off a pedestal I built myself. Does that mean there won't be tough days? No. Today I'm mentally and physically tired. I used to be ashamed of that, like it was shameful to say, but now I wear it as a badge of honor. What an honor to be tired from having so much going on in your life. What an honor to have a healthy body and be able to do so many amazing things that you get tired. Wear your badge of honor proudly today," unquote. What have all those tough days done for you and taught you?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that, a lot of people look at me on social media or look at the fact that I'm pretty much always smiling. I try to not let people know I'm having bad days just because it's not their problem, right? Not because I'm hiding it, but I will say I've had tough times. I've had bad days. I've been through my trials and my tribulations. Um, they have taught me and they teach me every day still because I still have bad days. Keep going no matter what, because there is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And life is worth so much more than just always being depressed or always being, um, down on yourself. And at the end of it all, the older you get, the more you know that time is valuable. And I think I'd say that more than anything, one of the things we can't bring back is time. And if we waste our time just always being down and being negative, um, you will regret it one day. I'm not a fan of the word regret, but you will. So,
You're also a former Mrs. Alaska and a model who's been in the beauty industry for over 20 years. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved in that and what
sure.
being Mrs. Alaska was like for you.
Sure. So how I got involved in it is from the time I was young and little, I always just loved the beauty industry. Just loved the, little girls playing the pretty stuff and the makeup and the hair and things like that. So I've always had a love for that. Um, I got involved in pageants because many people don't realize that the pageant industry is not just about beauty. It teaches skills to young women and to older women. It teaches interview skills. It teaches confidence. It teaches poise. It's more than just being beautiful. Nowadays, the pageant world, which I still work with in a very large way with interview and things like that and coaching, oh my gosh, these women are top notch. Like some of them, I'm just in awe at 18 years old, what they've already done or what their dreams and ambitions and goals are. So I got into it based off of a recommendation of a friend and quickly realized that it's not easy, that the confidence that you gain from it and the friendships are invaluable. Additionally, it has taught me over the years that there is more to life than beauty. There's more to life than judging a book by its cover, which many of us tend to do, and especially in that world. So,
You said, quote, "You can't force someone to respect you, but you can refuse to be disrespected. Love yourself enough to walk away from those who do not respect you, even if it costs you relationships, money, friends. Know your worth," unquote. Many people have a hard time knowing their worth and stay in situations with people that they shouldn't. How important is it for them to run and not walk here if that's the case?
so a lot of people don't know my story as far as some of the things that happened to me when I was younger because I don't dwell on it. But I had a friend the other day say, "You should tell more people your story." I was bullied really bad as a kid in junior high to the point of where I let people take me down. I let people value my worth, my personal worth for many, many years. It stuck with me. And I finally realized as I got older that none of those people matter. Like, that old saying that if it's not there in 5 minutes or 5 days or 5 months or 5 years, it shouldn't matter. I don't even know any of those people anymore. And I let them make a huge impact on my life. Right. And it was so devastating to me at the time. And now I realize that the only person that can prove my worth or show my worth is myself. And everybody out there should realize that. You cannot rely on anybody else to show your worth or prove your worth. You have to do it for yourself. And once I realized that, something clicked in my head, and I was like, hey, if you don't like me, because not everybody does, that's not my problem, that's your problem. And so you need to be who you are and be who you want to be, and just, let the world love you if they want to. And if they don't want to, so be it. So,
You've been described as having a quote hunter mentality. What does that mean to you?
you know, I'm not afraid to go after things. I feel like if somebody says we need to do this, then let's do it. Let's do it. I've had some wonderful connections I've made in life, and still have some amazing connections. And so that's always been very helpful. Networking is huge, making friends is huge, helping others first before, you want to be helped. And then when it's time to have that hunter mentality and go after things, people are willing to help you. So I think as far as a hunter mentality goes, I'm just not afraid to go after things.
You said sometimes the universe tests you more when you're close to a whole new chapter. How important are those tests that we're given in life to see what we're made of?
Huge, because just when you think you're going to give up, you usually do. Just when it gets super hard, you usually give up. I've done it before. I've done it. And you have to keep going. If it's something that you're truly passionate about, if it's something that is your dream and is your goal, do not stop no matter what. And sometimes we realize in life that after we've been through things, it's really not our passion. It's really not our goal. And it's okay to say, hey, I did give it a great try, and I'm okay with that. But if it is your passion, it is your dream, it is your goal, don't stop. You can't.
Quote, Angel is very passionate, driven, and she does all things with integrity, unquote. There are a lot of people out there that have the first two, but they don't have the last one, integrity. What has doing everything with integrity done for you in your life and career?
Integrity is probably one of the most important words in my life. It's cost me money because I wouldn't go along with something that I didn't feel was right in my heart or I felt was dishonest. It's cost me relationships in the sense of, if my gut doesn't feel right, then you're not the right person for me to be around or be with. It's cost me a lot of things, but it's gained so many things for myself. And I can look in the mirror and know that, I do everything with integrity. Am I perfect? No. But I try to have excellence and integrity in everything that I do. And I think if everybody in the world had that attitude, and had that, true deep down in their soul, we wouldn't have quite the problems that we have. But definitely, integrity is everything. My first real estate team was called Integrity Realty Pros. That's how important it is to me. So by all means, if you can't do it with integrity, don't do it at all.
Quote, life is a balance between holding on and letting go. Don't give up what you want most in life or what you want now. I love that quote of yours. Why do you believe it's so difficult for people to do that?
We hold on to safety because of fear. We hold on to what we feel is safe because we're afraid to let go. We're afraid to let go of relationships. We're afraid to let go of our money sometimes. That's why people aren't risk takers. We're afraid to let go of our time. We're afraid to let go of a lot of things. And we hold on so tight sometimes that restricts us and hold us back. And it also, causes us to take 2 steps backwards. Sometimes you just really have to let go of something, and sometimes it hurts like hell to let go of something, but you have to let go of yourself sometimes to grow. And it might take a year, 10 years to realize it, but it'll happen.
Throughout your life, you've worked with, larger corporations and companies, smaller businesses too, and, what you call, quote, boots on the ground technique. Why do you feel that you've been successful working with people on both ends of the spectrum, large and small groups?
I think it goes back to the integrity piece. I think it goes back to, I truly care more about them than I do myself, in the sense of, when I go after business, or I help others, or I teach leadership, or we empower women, it's not about me, it's about them. And if more of us can live our lives about others than about ourselves, not that we shouldn't be selfish with, who we choose to be around, and with self-care, and with the people we surround ourselves with. But if we would stop living this selfish life and care more about what we're doing for other people, it won't be so much like like a sale or like a job. It'll just be more like how we, how we live and how we live for others.
You said, quote, "You're at a perfect place in your journey. Don't compare your journey to anyone else's journey. Don't compare your definition of success with someone else's definition of success," unquote. You've had a long journey in your life, a lot of successes, and it's just about everyone else. I'm sure you've had some failures too. What did you learn from those failures?
I've learned that the only way to succeed is fail, because you will never succeed if you don't try, and you're not always going to succeed. So failures, while they hurt, failures, while I look back on some of them and go, what was I thinking? They really truly have shaped my life and who I am. And that's how we should all look at failures. In fact, the word failure is actually not really a bad word, right? It's a learning tool, it's a teaching tool. And once you can realize that, you can grow. And so I would say that would be what I've learned most about my failures.
Your business advising and consulting company, Angel Kirk Consulting, is known for taking people and businesses to the next level. You're very good at team building and branding too. What is it about how you approach that in your company that has allowed you to help so many businesses and people to become more successful and continue to grow at a higher degree?
Sure, I've been an entrepreneur for pretty much my entire adult life. And so I know that the struggles, it's not easy. Is it worth it? 100%. I know the struggles, I know the nuances. I've been there, I've done that. But additionally, I also know the the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, like I said earlier. And so if I can help people and take them there, that gives me amazing thrills, right? I just love to see something start and finish. And when you're helping people through business, that's typically what you do. You see them and they have all these ideas and they're this visionary and they've got all this amazing stuff inside them. And when you can take that out of them and help them get to their end goal, and success is different for everybody. Somebody that makes $100,000 a year, and I hate to throw numbers out, that might be their dream, their success. They're happy. You know what? Perfect. Let's take them there. Or you might want to get to, $2 million a year. Whatever it is, as long as that person is constantly growing and I can help them with that and help them succeed, that's what gives me the drive to do what I do.
Have you had some businesses that are on the verge of closing and failing and that you've been able to work with them and turn things around?
Yeah, of course. Typically, people don't come to me unless that's happening, unless it's a startup. A lot of times they'll come to me as a startup just so that we can get the ball rolling that way. But, usually when you're coaching or advising any kind of thing, even when I do leadership coaching or advising, or we do any kind of mindset training, it's not because those people are where they want to be. So, we help them to get to be where they want to be. And I think that's key. Is so many entrepreneurs and so many people in general are so ashamed because they're quote unquote failing, or their business isn't doing what they want, or they're personally not doing what they want. But what they don't realize is sometimes they just need that push over the edge, that next step to get past a few hurdles, and then they'll be doing fantastic. So I guess that's who I am. I'm just that person that pushes them over that hurdle, or helps them with their mindset, or helps them know that I can help them be accountable for them. And sometimes that's really all we need.
And I'm sure that, even though you says it's not about you, it's about them and helping them. And, that's super important to you. It has to make you feel good when you know that you've helped turn a business around like that.
Oh my gosh. You asked me earlier also about the beauty industry. One of the things that attracted me to the beauty industry and owning my own salon and spa was the faces when they walked in and the faces when they walked out. It's amazing when you see somebody come in and after they feel good about themselves, and when they leave, and that feeling that it gives me. Same concept in businesses. When you can make somebody smile, or make somebody be able to spend more time with their kids, or give somebody confidence based off of something you helped them do, that's huge.
Another great quote of yours is, quote, "Humility means having strength under control. Being humble, gentle, kind, humane is not a sign of weakness. Be compassionate, look for the best in others. And for the love of all things holy, let's agree that it's okay to disagree," unquote. I agree. All of those are signs of strength. it's not hard to just be nice to people and have compassion, to realize that we never know what someone is going through or dealing with, do we?
Mm-mm. No, and I feel like in the world today, you know, we won't talk about the views, but all the political separation and the religious separation and yada yada yada. We can go on forever. Racism, all of that. I feel like truly none of it really matters. I talk to people every single day who have different beliefs than I do. I'm a Christian. I talk all the time to people that aren't Christian. And it doesn't mean that I want to go have birthday parties with them. I mean, let's honestly say they're not my people. I don't need to surround myself with people that I don't want to surround myself with. But I also don't need to be unkind. I don't need to publicly humiliate them. I don't need to not invite them to functions because of who they are. So I think that's where we get this whole delineation is, just because we disagree with people, yeah, it doesn't mean they're coming to, your 3-year-old's birthday party, but it also doesn't mean that you can't sit in the same room with them as a function and treat them like a human being. And if we would all start respecting and having kindness like that and treating people like human beings, no matter their views, and stop pushing your views on everybody else if they don't want them. Again, not saying not to have your views, because I know people are going to be like, oh, but yeah, let's just all get along if we're in the same room or on the same platform.
The example I use for people all the time is, the Memphis Grizzlies are here, obviously an NBA basketball team. And when you watch a game on television or you go to a game at the FedEx Forum here, all the people in the crowd are cheering, going crazy, high-fiving and hugging and excitement and energy. And there's people of all different races, religions, color. No one talks politics. No one talks religion. No one talks their views. They're having fun and getting along. And that is how life should be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great analogy. I love that.
Thanks. I know you're a dog lover. I believe you might have 2 dogs. Is that correct?
Yes.
What do dogs bring into your life?
No judgment, unconditional love, amazing. Dogs know when you're sad. Dogs know when you're sick. Dogs know when you're happy. But yeah, the unconditional love portion to me is just one of the things that I really love about dogs. They just and they need you in a way of feeding them and things like that. But I feel like I need them much more than they need me most of the time.
I agree.
So.
I agree wholeheartedly. Tell us a little bit about your mother, Marilyn, and your sister, Jennifer, who I believe this past May, you guys just had a chance to see each other again for the first time in around 3 years.
Yeah. So I actually last weekend was just at a wedding in California with my mother and all 3 of my sisters. We were all together for the first time. And happy birthday to my sister, Jennifer. Today's her birthday. So family is everything to me. I grew up, if there's one thing you asked me earlier about maybe where my risk taking or things came from, my parents instilled in us at a very, very young age that family is everything. It doesn't matter how you screw up. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you say. Your family is your family is your family. And I know many people are like, hey, there's boundaries and there's a lot of screwed up families out there and things like that. So by no means am I judging people that unfortunately have, violent families or alcoholic families or things like that they just can't be around. I understand that situation. But for myself, my family is everything. And we try to get together at least once a year. And then everybody got older and kids and stuff, we haven't been able to. But if there's one thing I can do is I can call any of my family at any time and pick up the phone and talk to them, get what I need. Everybody is always there for each other. And I feel like that instilled so much in me that so many people don't have, is just that whole being raised with a family that's unconditional love.
I believe you have a stepson, Cody, who is around 30, and your son Joshua is a hockey player at Weber State, which I believe is your alma mater. You have a daughter, Jenna, who just celebrated her 20th birthday on July 19th. You said, quote, "Happy 20th birthday to this amazing soul. What a blessing you have been. I'm so proud of you, Jenna Kirk," unquote. Tell us a little bit more about your kids.
Sure. Um, well, I'm not in touch with my stepson as much as I used to be. He's old and grown, and I'm no longer married to his father. Doesn't mean that I didn't have the most amazing time raising him, and that I'm not extremely proud of him. He is in the Air Force, so God bless him for serving. But my two children, um, Joshua, yes, he's a hockey player. I love the fact that I'm, oh my gosh, so almost a 21-year hockey mom, because he started when he was 3. And then, yeah, my baby girl, she just turned 20. Um, and my kids are my life, you know. I think that most parents will say that. Most loving parents will tell you that. And there's no way for them not to be, if you love them as much as obviously I love my children. I'm amazingly proud of both of them. Have they screwed up and made mistakes? Of course. Have I screwed up and made mistakes as a mother? Of course. But I'm just amazingly proud of them. And more so, I'm amazingly proud of both of them because they're both kind, generous souls, no matter what degree they have, no matter hockey, my daughter races, no matter how successful they are, they're just both very kind human beings. And for me, that's all I need.
What are the most important lessons that you've learned in life?
Oh gosh, how much time is this podcast? No, I'm kidding. um, my dad always said, "You're never too high to fall, and you're never too low to rise."
I love that.
And I think that that about sums it up.
How can people find you and follow you on social media?
I have a large LinkedIn platform, so just go to Angel Kirk. I'm on Facebook under Angel Kirk. I'm on Instagram under Angel Kirk. So yeah, I would say probably just Google my name. If you go to my LinkedIn profile and find me, um, you can DM me there. However, to be honest with you, since I've been involved, my phone number's all over the internet too.
Right.
They'll be calling me. No, I'm kidding. But you can find me. But yeah, probably LinkedIn is one of the easier ways to get a hold of me.
You know, Angel, you're definitely a leader, and from everything that I've learned about and researching you and hearing from you today, it's very obvious and apparent to me why you've been so successful in everything you do and why people want to work with you. I really appreciate you coming on today. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, I so appreciate you having me. Thank you for letting me tell a little bit about myself and for taking the time to listen. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's been my pleasure. Have an awesome day.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks.